The Yankees lose another series. That is now four straight series that the Yankees have lost. And so they finished the road trip 2-7. I believe they're 4-14 in their last 18 games or thereabouts. They are not playing good baseball. And you look at the stats, and yes, over the long haul of the struggle, like the pitching has dipped. But this road trip, the pitching was good. The pitching was good. Specifically the starting pitching. Gave them a chance to win not the Cardinal series, but the Mariners series and the Red Sox series. The pitching was good overall. There's some bullpen things we'll talk about, specifically Clay Holmes, but other than that, and Albert Abreu, which was a Mariners topic, but the offense is a problem for me. It just is. This last game against Michael Wacha was a joke. Michael Wacha, who give him credit, he's had a good season. But 7 innings, scoreless, 9 strikeouts, didn't even throw that many pitches. He just came off the IL. He had been out for a month and a half. That's awful. Yankees, Red Sox, Sunday Night Baseball at Fenway Park. Those are normally like 4-hour games. This is a 2-hour and 15-minute game. That's unacceptable. And yes, the injuries are there, but still, that's not an excuse. That just isn't. DJ LeMahieu is the latest question mark. He seems confident that it's nothing. It's a bit of a foot-toe issue, and there's going to be imaging done when they go back to New York. So he says he'll be back for tomorrow's game. I don't think knowing the Yankees and just knowing the situation, I don't think he will. So DJ might be sidelined. I don't think it'll be an IL situation, but who the hell knows, right? You check the MRI, and maybe something shows up. So there's that part of it, but the Yankees have just been playing really, really poor baseball and finding ways to lose regularly. It's just frustrating. It has a last year feel to it. It does, but just more to the extremes, where the Yankees really were incredible for the first 70 games, and then they have really been bad. They have been bad now for, what has it been? It feels like a couple of months. Right? What is it? It's August 14th. Yeah, less than 2 months. About a month and a half to 2 months of bad baseball. Sorry. The run differential won't show that, but the wins and losses will. The wins and losses will absolutely show it. The Yankees have been just not a good team for a long time now. And so let's just forget about the standings, right? Let's forget about the standings at this point, because still the Yankees hold a 10-game lead in the division. They still hold that. But now the Astros, what are they now? 2 games back? I'm losing track at this point. I guess 2 to 3 games back of the Astros. I don't think that's happening. And I've made a big deal about that, and I'm going to stick with that. I believe that's a big deal if you even get there. And I still believe that they will. As bad as it's been, I still believe that you will get through the LDS. That's just my prediction, if I'm being realistic. But as far as the Astros are concerned, no. No, I don't see that going well. Not at all. Especially if the Astros have home field. Even worse. Like, you may have lost it even if you had home field. Now, if you don't have it, like, I don't see that going well. So, my outlook on this team has certainly gotten a lot worse, and it just makes you feel like nothing's changed. And I understand the record overall is good. We have to forget about that. We have to forget about the overall record, because the Yankees have been a bad baseball team for a while now. They're losing series regularly. The fucking Boston Red Sox, this was essentially the Red Sox first series win against the AL East. Technically, they had already had one on Thursday. There was a 1-game makeup series against the Orioles. I don't really count that, honestly. This was truly the first Red Sox series win against the AL East, and of course against the Yankees. I'm pretty sure I literally said it. If I didn't say it, I thought it. After the Mariners episode that the Red Sox would probably take 2 out of 3. That's exactly what happened. It's exactly what happened. And the offense was completely non-fucking existent. 5 runs. 5 runs in 3 games. Mind you, the first game went into extra innings. So it's just a little extra. So not just 27 innings, 28. 5 runs in 28 innings. That's not going to win you much. You're lucky to win 1. But the Red Sox, they're not even a good team. This isn't a good Red Sox team. They've been getting, their pitching's been getting abused. And at Fenway Park, that's such a hitter's park. So, it's just frustration at this point. And I had been saying this for a while. I had been, even before it really got bad, but I mean, it's not ending. It continues to spiral. And Boone can say whatever he wants and try to sugarcoat it. This isn't good. It's just not. And look, maybe the timing will work out. Maybe you get all the bad shit out of the way now, and then when it really, really is important, maybe you do turn it around. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm not saying that. Like, you'd rather be bad now, but still, the Yankees are really putting themselves in a position that didn't seem possible, but then you remember, this is what they are. Streaky as could fucking be. And so the Yankees lose another series. Let's jump into it. Yankees Red Sox game 1. Domingo Germán pitched well. Got to give credit to Domingo Germán, who the first game against the Astros was bad. Really bad. Ever since then now, collectively, he's given the Yankees a chance in each game. You have to give him that. Do I love Domingo Germán? No, not at all. But he's been giving you pretty quality 5 to 6 innings, 1 or 2 run ball ever since then. So credit where it's due to Domingo Germán, a good effort, and really deserved a better fate. He did, but the Yankee offense let him down. So Domingo, like I said, goes 6 innings, gives up 1 run. And this was, a game where the Yankees had missed opportunity after missed opportunity. This game, the last game of the series was just lifeless, flat, and dead, where nothing was going on. And this one hurts maybe more. The first game probably hurts more for me. You go 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. 1. And the 1 hit didn't actually lead to a run, which wasn't the fault of, Donaldson, who got the hit, but Glaber then grounds a double play. That's what happened in the first inning. So, first inning, it's, Nate Eovaldi's on the mound for the Red Sox, and Eovaldi did not look good. And the Yankees let Eovaldi off the hook, definitely, because then they couldn't hit the Red Sox bullpen. Barnes, Brazier, and Whitlock, the Yankees didn't do anything against them. So, first inning, Anthony Rizzo gets an RBI double. And then Donaldson singles. Torres double play. Glaber Torres has been bad. Really, really bad. And he bats 5th about every night, and there's nothing you can do with the injuries. Like, he's stuck there, but it's a problem. I'm telling you, it's a problem. If this squad can become fully healthy, in my ideal situation, Glaber Torres is either batting low in the lineup or he's on the bench. So it's 1-0 Yanks right there. Then in the third, it is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is 46th homer of the season. Judge continuing his really good ways, although, to be fair, Sunday night was not a good night for Aaron Judge, but he's entitled. But Aaron Judge homers, makes it 2-0 Yankees, and it would end there. The Yankee offense would end right there. In the fourth, it's a double for the Yankee killer Alex Verdugo, and then an RBI single by J.D. Martinez, another Yankee killer, makes it 2-1 right there. Then let's go to, I guess, the 7th inning. Scott Effross comes on for Domingo Germán, and this was Scott Effross, if you want to talk about positives, he's one of them. He pitches a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th to preserve that 2-1 Yankee lead. Then we go to the bottom of the 8th. Aroldis Chapman pitches a 1-2-3 to preserve the 2-1 lead, but the offense continues to flounder. In the bottom of the 9th, Clay Holmes. And I think we've reached the point where Clay Holmes can no longer be at the top of the pecking order. Do I think that he will still get save opportunities? I kind of think he will. But you have to think that it's been a bit of a changing of the guard. Who takes over for him? I don't know. And I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to be I don't want to just hand it to Aroldis Chapman, nor do I think they will. But Clay Holmes needs to be demoted in the pecking order. That's all. And maybe he rounds back into form, but it's been a really rough go for Clay Holmes, and he blows it in this one. So, and he's been a major reason. When I think about the Yankee struggles and the turn and Michael King getting hurt, I said it at the time, was gigantic, huge, and Clay Holmes struggles as well. So now you've basically lost both of those guys. That's. I mean, I don't know how you make up for that. So, 1-out walk, and that's the problem. Clay Holmes, the walks have killed him. And then another walk to Alex Verdugo. That's it right there. It's not even so much that he's getting beaten around. Like, it's the walks. So first and second, one out, and sure enough, JD Martinez with a game-tying RBI single. That's it for Clay Holmes, and Wandy Peralta in a first and third spot is able to keep the game alive. He strikes out Eric Hosmer, and then Christian Arroyo lines out to Connor Falefa. Good job by Wandy Peralta. We go to the 10th, and the Yankees' extra inning struggles continue. Aaron Judge walks, which was a smart move. And that was Garrett Whitlock. Garrett Whitlock, former fucking Yankee prospect. Judge walks. Then Rizzo lines out. And that was big. Rizzo, to me, is still one of those guys that, he's on my, good list for now. For Anthony Rizzo, when it comes down to it, I want him on my team. He lines out. Then Josh Donaldson strikes out, and Donaldson just strikes out all the time. And it's funny. You would think that Josh Donaldson, he must be a guy that struck out in his career, right? Like, you think of Josh Donaldson, power hitter. No, he did not really strike out all that much considering the players. But now that he's on the Yankees, he's striking out all the time. That's terrible. One of the things I was excited about when it came to Donaldson was, don't love the person so much. Certainly when you go against him, he can be frustrating, but, always respected the player, and he's a very good fielder. But I like the fact that, his strikeout rate isn't all that high. Doesn't matter. He's striking out a ton now. Then there's a double steal during the Gleyber Torres at bat. Second and third, and what does Gleyber do? He strikes out. Gleyber Torres, I'll give him this. There's a lot of walk-offs. There's a lot in his career. He's had a lot of walk-off hits and things like that, right? Credit given. However, he does not come through in the clutch. Generally speaking, in the last few years, certainly this year, his numbers running score position are just dreadful, below 200, in a large sample size as well. Very large sample size. And I saw he's 1 for 13 with the bases loaded. That's Aaron Hicks type territory. Gleyber Torres, it is hard for me. He's a likable enough guy, right? We're not talking about a Aroldis Chapman who's, not very likable when you take everything into account. I'm trying to think of a better example, but Gleyber, look, he's innocent. He's a likable enough person, but it's hard. It really is hard to defend him, and I don't know. I feel like if that's the guy that gets traded during the offseason, depending on other moves, I'm perfectly fine with it. So we go to the bottom of the 10th, and Lou Trevino comes on, gets a soft ground out. Jalen Davis, it was essentially as good as a bunt for Davis, so it kind of works out for the Red Sox a little bit. And then Reese McGuire, it's kind of funny that you almost had 2 games that ended in sack bunts. We'll talk about that. McGuire bunts, and for some reason, the runner, Arroyo, didn't go home. He kind of went back to third, but it turns out McGuire is safe. It was kind of a tough play for Trevino, and he's safe at first. So it's first and third, 1 out, and really, the Red Sox hitting star of this series, I'm going to say that. After, maybe it's in terms of the expectations, because my expectations were maybe somewhat low. Tommy Pham, the new Red Sox, with a walk-off RBI single, was essentially like a double, because it was down the right. It would have, under normal circumstances, that's a double. But anyway, a walk-off RBI hit for Tommy Pham, and the Yankees lose a game they absolutely should have won. But that's what's been happening. To me, that was a typical sort of Yankee game. Game 1 was a Yankee game that we've seen recently. Far too much. In a nutshell, unclutch hitting, Clay Holmes underperforming, and losing in extra innings, losing a 1-run game. All right, we go to game 2. And game 2, I guess, in some ways, was maybe more kind of like the Yankees we had seen early in the year, where they find a way to win. But the offense was still pretty poor. It's Frankie Montas versus Cutter Crawford. Pretty good pitchers matchup here. Frankie Montas, a lot better than what we saw against St. Louis. And the pitch count, he only threw 78 pitches, so they're still kind of building him up a bit. So, but I thought it was a good outing. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't. But it was okay. He really ran into one bad inning, and it cost him, where his control kind of got the best of him a little bit there. But Montas, good start here. I'll live with it. And certainly it feels better because the Yankees won, to be honest. But So we shift to game two, and it's interesting. Seeing DJ LeMahieu DH here, it almost makes more sense now because LeMahieu didn't play the last game. So clearly they kind of knew about it and wanted to keep him out of the field, but, with that foot-toe thing. So, scoreless for a while. And then at the bottom of the fourth, the Red Sox get going. Leadoff walk for Dugo. So Montas, again, his control, this is where if the control was good, he probably has a scoreless outing. But unfortunately, walk for Dugo, ground out Martinez, single Hosmer, Verdugo goes to third, wild pitch, a walk to Arroyo. You see kind of the control is not great. And then he hits Jarren Duran with the bases loaded, gives the Red Sox a 1-0 lead, and then Reese McGuire gets a sac fly. It's 2-0 Red Sox. So the Red Sox right there take the lead. But the Yankees, and this was a good quality of theirs during their good stretches, is they respond right away. It's a leadoff walk by Andrew Benintendi, and then with one out, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa finally hits his first home run of the season. This was the Kiner-Falefa game. He was the star of this game. He gets the 2-run homer to tie it up, a really big one, right? Like, it wasn't like his first homer. He made it pretty meaningful. Ties the game up at 2. Like I said, Montas finishes 5. Lucas Licky comes on in the 6th and keeps it a tie game. Give him credit. Licky with a scoreless 6th. We go to the 7th. Lou Trevino comes on, gets a couple of outs, then gives up a double to Xander Bogaerts, and they bring in a Aroldis Chapman. And this was almost a risky endeavor, but because Chapman, you don't really want to bring Chapman on to a game when there's already runners on base. He's the type of guy you kind of want to bring him to a fresh inning. He hits Alex Verdugo. The control was bad. Then the Yankees got very lucky. Xander Bogaerts is caught stealing where Chapman kind of has him, and he throws to Donaldson, and Donaldson tags out Bogaerts. So really fortunate, very bad base running by the Red Sox. Chapman's off the hook, because I don't know that was not going to head to a pretty place. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and Chapman finds it again. Chapman strikes out Martinez, strikes out Hosmer, and gets Arroyo to ground out. So it's still tied. In the top of the 9th, the Yankees get it going. And I should mention that Andrew Benintendi earlier made a really nice diving catch. I think it must have been maybe the 6th inning. Or so. I think it might have been the 6th or 7th, where Benintendi makes a really nice diving catch and left. This was his first series back in Boston since he was a Red Sox. So Benintendi with a 1-out double. Then Jose Trevino with an infield single makes it first and third, 1 out. And I love this play. Kiner-Falefa with an RBI bunt single. He lays down the bunt, and when you lay it down even semi-successfully, it's tough for the defense to stop it. And so Benintendi scores, and the Yankees take a 3-2 lead. Although then Aaron Hicks strikes out, and DJ LeMahieu strikes out. I guess I'll be easy on LeMahieu because of the injury. I'll be easy on him. But Hicks, oh boy, he is just awful. There's nothing else to say. Aaron Hicks is just not good. So we go to the bottom 9th, and Scott Effross is thrust into a really big situation, and he comes through. A little bit of a hiccup in the middle, but he comes through. Duran strikes out. Reese McGuire singles on an 0-2 pitch. Then Tommy Pham singles as well. Again, Tommy Pham was really solid in the series. So it's first and second, 1 out, and you got Devers and Bogaerts coming up. That doesn't sound good, right? You don't think it's going to turn out well, but Devers grounds out Trevino with a really risky sort of move. I thought he would just take the out at first. He throws to second, and they get Tommy Pham out at second base. So a heads-up play by Trevino, a risky one, but it works. So it's first and third, 2 out, and Xander Bogaerts pops out to Anthony Rizzo, and Effross gets the save. That's pretty big for Zach Effross. He might get some save opportunities down the line here. So it's good to see him, do that in a big situation. So, the feeling at this point is good. The Yankees win the game, and they have a chance to win the series. But, of course, the Yankees, and really, I mean, there's got to be a stat for this. Like, all of these lost series, they've lost the last game in each one. So you leave with a bad taste in your mouth every single time. And it seemed like the Yankees were looking to get the fuck out of Boston. I mean, this game, again, was about 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yankees get 2 hits against Michael Wacha, Ryan Brazier, and Garrett Whitlock. That's it. 2 hits. Wacha shut them down. This lineup was a little different looking with LeMahieu out. Benintendi was leading off. You had Andujar DH, and Andujar did have one of the 2 hits. It was Benintendi and Andujar with those hits. And Lil Castro was in its center. Aaron Hicks getting the night off. First inning, there's not going to be a lot to talk about in this one. Leadoff double by Tommy Pham. Then it's a ground out by Devers to get Pham over, and then it's an RBI ground out with the infield back. Xander Bogaerts' RBI ground out gets Tommy Pham in, makes 1-0 Red Sox, and there's just not a whole lot to talk about other than that. Top of the fifth was the one time the Yankees had a little bit of an opportunity, and it was first and second, 2 out, and Hakala Gashioka, who hit it pretty hard. I gotta say, it was a pretty nice play by Devers, grounds out. That was the one chance that they had. That was it. Then we go to the bottom of the sixth, and Rafael Devers, just because he has to, because he didn't really do it yet in the series, he makes his presence felt. It's a 2-run homer off of Jameson Taillon. The one mistake by Taillon was a 2-run homer by Rafael Devers, makes it 3-0 Red Sox. And, Waka goes 7 innings, Brazier a 1-2-3/8, Garrett Willock a 1-2-3/9. Taillon 7 innings, 3 runs, not bad. Keeps him in it. It's been better for Taillon lately, but the Yankee and Loaizaga, he did pitch the 8th, and pitched pretty well. So, I guess you got to note that down. But Yankees lose the game 3-0. They lose the series, and now they head home. It'll be a 9-game homestand. Before they go on the West Coast. 3 with Tampa, 4 with Toronto, and 2 with the Mets. Won't be easy. And look, these will be in some ways key division games. Look, the Yankees still have a healthy lead, but if you fuck up now in a major way, then all of a sudden the division becomes a little bit more interesting. So the Yankees will face the Rays for a 3-game series. The Rays have not announced their starter yet. It'll be Garrett Cole for the Yankees. And look, for Cole, the last start against Mariners was good, but you really want him to lock shit down here. Like, you really want Cole to lock it down in game 1 of this Rays series. Game 2 will be Jeffrey Springs versus Nestor Cortez, a battle of southpaws who have had a really good, both pitchers have had really good seasons. And then the last game will be between former Yankee Corey Kluber, who has struggled as a Ray at times, although has had success versus the Yankees, versus Domingo Germán. So, again, for me, I'm looking to take 2 out of 3. Home against the Rays. The Yankees have had some pretty good success against the Rays this season, and you hope that they can continue that. Like some of the Yankees have done well against the AL East for the most part, specifically when I think about the Rays and the Blue Jays. The sort of their, I guess, top 2 competitors. They've done well against those teams, so hopefully they can continue that. But the Yankees are in a really bad way. Again, 4 straight series losses. Their record drops to 72-43. And we shall see what happens. The Yankees need to come home because this road trip was really bad. And we will see how they do on this 9-game homestand.